Hello and welcome to Crafty Artist. Today I thought I'd do something different and show the crafty side of what Crafty Artist is all about and show you how to make some homemade, give a homemade stain look to your farmhouse frames. I will show you how to make farmhouse frames in a later video, but today I wanted to focus on just the stain. Instead of using a real stain that's dirty and messy and stinky, but using just regular craft paint to get the stain look that you want a lot quicker, a lot faster, a lot easier, a lot cheaper. So wood grain is just super beautiful. I'm a big fan of wood. I use wood a lot, and we want to still be able to see it. I want to still be able to see the beautiful wood grains. But we want to have it be a stained-ish look. So I am particularly using this, which is Deco Art Americana, and it's called Dark Chocolate. So all I do is I put some in a little cup. And I'm doing several. I'm doing enough for 3 frames, and I'll show you the different frame sizes I'm doing. But I'm just going to put a whole bunch, not a whole bunch, but I'm going to put a good amount on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water. All you do is water it down a little bit. So I'm just going to water it down a little bit and use my stick to stir it. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Okay. Not only does this make your paint last longer, but you give it a quick coat with your sponge brush and you're ready to go. So now I'm just going to take a simple sponge brush and I'm going to get some paint. And I'm just going to paint a light coat. Didn't get enough on my brush. I'm just gonna paint a light coat on my wood frame piece. So then after I'm done, and I'm gonna obviously have to go over the pieces because you can't do all 4 corners, all 6 sides, I should say, without having some problems. So I'm going to put that down. And then with this next one, I'm actually going to not paint the sides yet, or at least one of the sides, so I can decide how I want to do it. And if I feel like this is still too dark, I can go through it and just kind of brush it with the side of my brush and kind of move it in. But it will dry lighter and it will soak up some of the wood. So I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to stick it like that so it can dry, because it hasn't been painted on that side. And so I'm going to stick it on that side. And then that way I can actually take the corner and I can actually paint the top side. So now I only have one side left to paint. Okay, and see, this is almost all the way dry now, so I'm actually going to paint the rest of the sides that I hadn't painted yet. And it dries so quickly, so if you don't like it or whatever, then it dries really quickly, so you can sand it off and start over again if you'd like. There's lots of options that way. So with that is pretty much all you do. If you want the shiny look that a stain can give you, then obviously you want to put a clear coat varnish on it. Or you could do something as simple as putting a glossy Mod Podge on it. I'm all for inexpensive. You can actually, I don't know if they always have it, but sometimes the dollar store actually even has some Mod Podge. So that is always an option. I'm going to leave that right there. But can you see how awesome that looks? There's such a cool wood stain look that it gives you without having to break the bank. I am a big, huge fan of that. I don't like spending a lot of money when I can do something for so much less. So in my future videos, I will be going through things crafty, things artistic. I'm an artist by nature, but with kids, I had to slow down the art part when they were really little. It's only recently, since my youngest is now in school, or school age, I should say, that I've been able to start doing getting back into my art. And with the recent events in the world, I started my YouTube channel to share my love of art with not only parents, but with kids as well, and things that anybody could do. So my previous videos, which I can link to a couple of them, are just super fun, easy, anybody can do them. I don't have to have this artistic, amazing talent to do them. And they're just super fun and super easy to do. This is also super fun and easy. Obviously, you need an adult supervision to cut wood and get the wood that size you want and all that stuff. But your kids can totally paint this. So it can be a family affair. Absolutely. But in the future videos, I want to share my acrylic pouring adventures, which I'm super excited about. I can share some with you and do some pouring. I'm getting all the stuff ready for that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to make sure that I know which ones go to which ones. Okay, so this is dry, so I'm going to do the other side of that. And I'm going to show you which ones these 4 go to, because I have that other part glued and drying. So I can show you what I'm going to do. Now I have vinyl printed for my sign that I'm going to make, and I can show the finished product at the end of the video, so you're not left hanging of what they're going to look like. But in my actual video that I will be sharing with you, that one's done, that one has the side. We just started the adventure of homeschooling, and so I will be making a chalkboard and dry erase board, a big one, like 2 foot by 4 foot, for my kids and me to help keep things a little fun and organized and all that good stuff. And so I will be making the frame for the chalkboard and the dry erase boards. So I will be doing a video about that later. But for now, these are smaller signs that you can do. And I'm almost done painting this longer one. Can't remember what this longer one's for. So, and you really don't need much paint because, like I said, you're just doing this one quick coat and you're just kind of rubbing it across. And just rub it, and if you need to, you can rub it off with a paper towel if it feels like it's too much. If there's a little too much, you can always sand it a little bit and give it a antique look, if that's the direction you want to go to. Now remember, when you're making wood signs or for your information, if you've never done this before, you don't see all of it because it's going to be together. So you're not going to necessarily see all the ends. You're not going to see some of the sides. So it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. The point of farmhouse frames is that they're rustic. There's not anything perfect about it. It might look amazing, but there's going to be flaws. Wood has flaws. For instance, there is, there's divots. There's, there's knots in the wood. There's dents in the wood. There's imperfections in the wood. It's not going to be a perfect square thing. If you want that, go to the store and buy pre-cut ones, because then those ones will be monitored and whatever. But I buy these in 8-foot things at the wood store at Home Depot, and I cut them myself and I sand them myself, and so there's going to be imperfections in them. Now you can use wood putty and fill in some of the holes if you want to. Most of the time I don't, because I'm not going to see this underside, because this is going to be against the wall. So if this little hole is going to bother you, you can always fill it. But I'm actually going to be using this side. This is what you're going to see, and so I don't need to fill that in with putty. Before I go on, because I'm actually almost out of paint there, so I'm going to need to refill, I'm going to show you what one of my wood frames. And perfect example, is this the one? Yes, this is the one to it. So this goes up here. Okay, so I'm going to show you. These are still a teeny bit damp, but that's okay. They're not going to do anything. Okay, so I have this piece I glued together. These are 3-inch pieces. The true size is 2.5. Remember that when you're getting wood at the store, because it's not true size. If you want a 4-inch piece of wood, you're not going to get a 4-inch piece of wood. So this is called a 3 by 8-foot piece that I cut down. This is actually, the true size is 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a piece. So you definitely want to take that into account. But I already had pre-measured. I will be painting this white, and I pre-measured, and so now I have this, and this will be what my wood frame will look like. And then I have an awesome quote that my sister chose. All 3 of these are for my sister. She's interior decorator. She does an amazing job with her decorating her home, but she has a lot of farmhouse stuff, and so this is going to be in her home, and so she wanted me to do this. So anyway, so this is going to be the wood frame that we're working with. So then I have one that is going to be that's 1 foot by 3 foot. And actually with that one, and I'll show you, because that would be super heavy to do just with slats of wood, I am actually doing it with some particle board. So this big, huge honking piece of wood that I'm using, I will still be using with this type of wood to put around the framework. But I'll be doing that a little bit differently, and I can also show that later. So there you have it, the simple, nice, easy. You can use different shades of gray or brown or black to get the look you want. For my chalkboard, I will be doing a black stain look so it can kind of blend in with the chalkboard. And for my dry erase board, I will obviously be doing more of a whitewash, so it kind of blends in with my board, because it's going to be getting dirty. I'll seal it with a clear so I can wipe it easily, but I definitely want to have that be blend in more with the actual chalkboard and dry erase board. So that will be in a future video, hopefully not too far in the future. And with that, I will say goodbye and say happy creating. This is your Crafty Artist. If you want to know more information about the things that I actually have for sale that are wood things like this or my artwork, I will link my Facebook page in the description and with all the information about the stuff that I use. And I will see you guys later.